outdoor tortoise tour. This is nearing the end. We'll say like the high times, because the tortoises do their slow down out here, and eventually I do bring them inside, or I brewmate a few individuals. Usually Scooter for sure. He's always on the list, but the majority of the gals and the newcomers come inside. Tortoise Tour 2025. I've still got the consistent cinder blocks. I like them with a lid, or you'd have to do too high. I like to have a wall that is 1 or 2 times the length of the tortoise. The reason being is I just don't want any escapes, and fortunately for me I have no escapes with this lid because it's a heavy lid, and it keeps predators out, it keeps my dog out, it keeps the tortoises in. I only worry about birds here. We really have no foxes, coyotes, even rabbits. Not very many things can get into my fence. I have a very strong, secure fence, which is a beautiful thing because birds are a concern. Let's open it up. And this is a little bit heavy duty. Let's see if I can do this one-handed, one-kneed. Nope, got involved the head. My head is involved now. So I usually do this two-handed. Oh no. I can't get my chain out. There we are. So thanks for sticking through that. I have it over past half, nearing the height, securely mounted. I have family, and I never want them to ever have an issue. I might mount hinges there, but I haven't determined if I'm going to extend this or narrow it or what my overall plan is. But yeah, lately this is a few days worth of food I haven't raked in there, so excuse the mess. But the tortoises do pick at the mallow stems a little bit, but they're fussy. They only want the green leaf. As you can tell, that one there's been picked clean because it's protruded inwards. Outdoor tortoise tour. I've been working on. It's tough to keep that water clean lately. I don't know what the deal is. I need a bigger water pan, there is no doubt. But I sure love the greenhouse because that allows an outdoor sunspot. Some of them burrow in it, but it's mostly a transition phase, no different than the sunspot of your house. They go in and out. Sometimes I see them hanging out in there. You see that little digger? No, that's Ethel. And she's still working at that stem because I haven't fed them yet today. I try and feed my tortoises a shell-sized amount of high fiber, low sugar, low protein, max fiber, of course, and try and find a way to get a calcium content to them. I usually have a cuttlefish bone or some lump chalk available kicking around the outdoor enclosure. I pick up poop waste daily, or rake at least the entire enclosure every couple days so that you don't get too much waste just laid over. You don't want them walking through that for long periods of time and it penetrating the soil, and then you just have exceptional just bio trash, I guess is the word for it. The reason I like these cinder blocks is they've allowed me to grow a lot of food out of them. This is, I pick it very lightly because I have other food sources, but it's so nice to have a built-in food source that is even grown elsewhere and then some. Like, it's just so beautiful. And I've got some chicks and hens, and I pick them and repot them, and it's just beautiful. I absolutely love it. I try and feed off of the slate, but I think I'm actually going to move that slate over to here because it's more convenient for me to open it up this lengthwise and just toss it in. And I don't worry about any soil ingestion because these guys have such a good life. They're not just out there eating mouthfuls of soil for the funsies of it. Drainage. I'm trying to keep max drainage. So as you can see here, there's a wet spot because the sprinklers do hit this some, and they do like sprinklers a little bit, as long as it's not too cold of a temperature or way too hot where you shock them with cold city water. But I think I'm gonna have to upgrade my kitty door. It's just not quite wide enough on the long term. So Here's old Scooter putting in work on Gale 2.0. Gale 1.0, the Russian tortoise. I don't foresee myself being this into tortoises with Russians as much as I like these hermits. They're just way less personable and more snake-like. And hermits are like that house hippo commercial in Canada in the 90s, and I just love these characters. Like, they all come over to me because I'm just here. Even Scooter now, he's like, who is intruding? It's just, yeah, no, love them. Love them. These characters are due for a bath. They're looking a little dry. Obviously, there's some pyramiding going on. None of these characters did I raise from hatchlings. And I'll say it's tough to have proper humidity in Canada. We are so cold and dry, it sucks the moisture out of the world in the winter. And in the summertime, even when it's raining, I wouldn't say it's high humidity. It's the day after you might get one day of high humidity. But where I'm at, I'm in the Arizona of Canada and love it here, but it's dry for raising hatchlings of the Mediterranean. But yeah, thinking of moving that slate over to here, having it all drained so that we have a tortoise bank there. I want them to have a better spot for laying eggs that's nice and thick. So I'll probably remove those rocks because I want to see more egg laying outdoors that I can find. And because for the most part they only lay indoors that I am able to find. I have accidentally hit a nest out here and I was pretty sad, but I'm pretty sure they were laid way before I even knew that, and like a month before. They would have never hatched outside in Canada, unfortunately. But yeah, looking there, you can tell that my kitty door is almost at a maximum, so I'll probably be moving up to either an XL kitty door or I guess small dog door, I guess is probably the next step up. I was thinking maybe there's anything else. I've got my heat and my UVB. I just run a combi bulb for the 1 month out of the year that it's out here, that with the sunlight, that it gives them an extra stimulation. I find it's more durable. The heat bulbs from the house that I tried using out here, any form of moisture and they just seem to pop, and I just don't like spending that much on bulbs every couple days. But CHE in one, combi UVB in the other one. I'll run the ceramic heat emitter CHE. Chi is what I say in my mind when I'm reading the word on Facebook. I'll run my Chi 24/7 in just a few amount of days. And the UVB probably shortly after. And I usually just run one or the other, but the CHE seems to run 24/7 eventually. Because I maximize my outdoor time. I'll try and keep these horses out. It was like mid-October before I've kept them out. You'll have to check my old videos, I guess, but I've kept these horses outside to a maximum and really kept Scooter out even longer. That is one hardy tortoise, old Scoots. I had to bury these clay pots because they're mining into the insulation, because that is a hard polystyrene insulation. It's very durable, and this is concrete boarding. And it's just 4 boards I cut up and added a strap around so that it can't fail, and then a lid. This is very MacGyvered recycled materials, this entire thing. Very little did I pay for any of this. It's all recycled materials. Absolutely love it. Finch wire. It's only to stop the dog from jumping on there. She thought she'd get an idea every once in a while and jump on there when the lid's down, which I run down when I have the combi bulb, like UVB and heat combi bulb, and the CHE running and to keep it insulated. It gets hot in there. It depends on the temperature outside, but it gets good and hot in there. And that's another thing that I like this little greenhouse for, is it protects that door just a little bit extra. And on those sunny days, it's extra hot in here. For when they come out of the shack, they get a little blast of heat, and then they're out for the day. Like, my only regret is I'd like to make this bigger somehow, but I need a pathway through there. And I'd love to just convert this. So my compromise, I might just add a door, an old glass frame window door, and add that to where that grass section is there, because I don't need that grass. I just need to be able to get a motorbike through there if I ever wanted. But yeah, lucky me, I am so impressed with this setup here. One thing about mallow is you should be careful that it doesn't get rust. This isn't rust, this is just dryness. It's just drying out. Might just feed that chunk up because it don't need to be there. So I'll probably just feed that. I should give this thing a raking tonight. But yeah, this is my outdoor tortoise tour. The majority of my food, as great as it is to grow, look at the space it takes up. It don't keep up to 10 tortoises or 9 that I have in my possession right now. So foraging is the answer. You cannot grow enough unless you're a land-owning farmer. Forage. Comment below your favorite food to forage for your tortoise. Comment anything if you're into these videos. Thanks. That's Tortoise Keepers over and out.